Hello, my friends. It's been a little while since we last connected. It's midwinter now, and these last weeks we've gone through some of the coldest and darkest days and nights of the year here in the Mountain Valley. My life since the winter solstice has been very different. The winter's limited daylight and freezing temperatures have shifted everything about how we move through our days, because living semi-off-grid in a tiny house with only our wood stove for warmth means that during the winter our movements are much more limited in a lot of ways, but also more connected to living in harmony with the season. In this season of the darkness, I've spent most of my time doing a lot of things that it feels like there's just not space for at other times of the year. And then I also spend a lot of time tending to the fire throughout the day to stay warm. In this video, I wanted to share with you what it's been like, and also what I've been discovering about what happens when you let yourself adapt, move, and harmonize with the season instead of against it.
It is really, really, really cold this morning. I think last night it got down to like maybe 9 or 10 degrees Fahrenheit. 10 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 12.22 degrees Celsius. Hi, sweetie. Are you cold? And yeah, I don't think I've ever really shared a lot of the ins and outs of like what this life living, semi-off-grid is really like. And a big part of it is the fact that like we only have this. We only use our wood stove for heat, and so that means that basically at nighttime, unless we're waking up every few hours to keep the fire going, that we wake up to a freezing cold house. A freezing cold house. You can you see my breath? Can you see that? And it's actually really cute. With the cats, when they breathe, you can also see their little puffs of smoke coming out of their mouth. They sleep with us in the bed in the winter time. Bubba nuzzles himself in between us, and Lil will usually snuggle with either me or Noel. It's like one of my favorite things. But it is absolutely freezing. So much so that sometimes the cat's water freezes or our water freezes. Yeah, it can be kind of intense. Hey, buddy. So I'm sorry, I gotta make a fire. So I'm gonna make a fire. We just ran out of wood, actually, from the wood that we had delivered. So it's good to know that was only a third of a cord, and it lasted us 2 months, I think. And right now, Noel has been cutting wood for us. But I don't know what it is. It's just not burning as well. Anyway. We're out of kindling. Great. Alright, gotta go cut some kindling. That'll do. the wood isn't seasoned well. It's just what's here on the land. It's just, oh my god, it just pours in smoke. With our other wood, it just would, it's so easy. Oh, Lil, no. We are having such a cozy evening over here. We've got cinnamon rolls proving on their final proof before they go into the oven. We've got a fire going. And Hannah is gonna come over once the cinnamon rolls are done. Wait, I'm sorry. What? Oh, look at those! That looks amazing! Oh, I'm so excited! Oh, she's here, Bubba! Your girl's here! Wow. It's happening. And Hannah, when you see them, you're gonna be like, what? Right?
That's insane. Busted out.
They're busting out. That's what we need. Oh, we're going for it. Bun. Bun. They smell amazing. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I needed this. I didn't know how much I did.
Yeah.
This might be the best cinnamon bun I've made so far.
Oh my god.
That frosting.
Yeah.
Will you press the button? Oh, okay. Oh, I have no idea if I'm in focus. Oh, you know, sometimes you just have to get out into nature just to remember what is real, what is true. Oh, it's so cold, but it's so nice. I've just been sitting here sort of being really quiet and really still and listening to nature. If you do that, if you look closely at nature, nothing in nature is getting a fresh start right now. You know, the trees still stand completely bare and are still, all of their energy and all of their resources are focused in on their roots. There's no growth, there's no buds. The seeds that are in the earth still lie dormant and haven't started to grow roots. And even the animals that stay active during this time of year, you know, they move slower and conserve their energy and just have a very different pace of life. Oh, hello friends. It is such a beautiful day and it's so nice to be outside. We've just had some of the coldest days of the season yet.
I think last night it got down to like -10. And what is that sound? Oh, it's the river. And do you hear it? It's talking. It kind of scared me. I thought there was an animal or something. It's way too early for bears to wake up. Well, it's still very cold today, but it's warm enough to be able to go outside and go for a walk. And you know, I was just thinking, there's all this human conception built up around this time of year because our world currently follows the Gregorian calendar and the Gregorian year. But you know, as somebody who's been interested in living in rhythm and harmony with nature's natural rhythms and cycles, that's not the only conception of time. That's not the only way to orient yourself in time. And all right, here, can I put you on this tree so then I don't have to hold it? That works. Tree tripod. Sometimes I get so nervous to talk in front of the camera. I just like jump into my head and then I forget my body. And I forget what I'm even trying to say. Like my mind just goes blank. I love this little talking stream. It's so lovely. What I was just thinking about while I was walking was how, in addition to the fact that we're living in a time system that is completely contrary to natural rhythms and cycles, and how that creates so much inner conflict for people, you know, like New Year's resolutions and this, you know, this feeling like they have to get started with new things in the dead of winter. It's just so silly. But in addition to all of that, it was also occurring to me that I think we've also completely forgotten and become very disconnected from what a new beginning really is. And I just started thinking about natural law. And I just started thinking about how everything in nature, whether you're a tree or a human, we start in the darkness. And we start without form, we start without movement. You know, it's like a seed or an egg or within the womb or a tree, an acorn in the ground, or, you know, anything like that starts in darkness. And we have this very black or white understanding of what an ending and a beginning is. It's like the like one cycle ends and then the new one just suddenly begins. You know, it's like nothing in nature is like that at all. There's death, there's decay, there's the planting of the seed, there's the seed lying in incubation underneath the cold, frozen earth. Then there's, you know, like the first wave of warmth and the seed beginning to grow roots and adapting and becoming, and then it bursts through the earth and becomes. So there's all of those stages of a new beginning. But we're not in the birth stage yet. This is still winter. This is still seed stages. It was literally -10 yesterday. I'm getting really riled up about this. What do I want to say? It's getting so cold. Okay. But it is madness that we live in a world that doesn't validate natural rhythms and cycles, and that so many people are being so hard on themselves because they can't start a new way of being in the dead of winter. And of course not. Nothing else in nature is. Anyway, humans forgetting that we are also nature creates so many problems. Basically, ever since the solstice, I've just been kind of attuning to what are the energies that are coming alive. It's more about like what is already cultivating within my being, within my mind, within my body, that I can then take steps to support and facilitate and build foundations and routines and networks. Like how can I prepare the ground, so that that can grow and that can be fostered, and like sensing those things and making those things real, rather than starting from a conceptual place of like, here's my to-do list and here are the things that I want to accomplish. It's starting with like, what's alive in me right now, because that's coming from somewhere so much deeper than just conception, and validates your path, rather than telling myself, oh, I should be better, or I should be doing this, and just shitting all over myself. I love that term. It is definitely worth it to like have dreams of things that you want to create, but now is the time about that nourishment. Like the seeds that are in the ground right now are receiving nourishment and require the cold, require the stillness, require the slowness in order to become. But it's like we've forgotten what a real beginning is. Nothing just becomes suddenly and springs out of the ground or becomes a human. We live to grow. And a huge part of the growth that we've forgotten is that part that's under the ground, that starts at the roots, that starts as a seed. And now is that time. Okay, I am so cold. I was gonna go for a longer walk, but I am so cold. My hands are so frozen and the sun is going down. There's all of these processes that are so much more subtle and nuanced and deeply profound, but they're, if you're a seed, it's under the earth. You don't really see it. And I think that that's why a lot of people struggle, and why our culture really struggles with thinking that way, is because we want progress that is so obvious, that is so evident, that is above ground and all those things, but that's not how it works. And I wanted to share that because I just hope that people stop fighting themselves. And if you are really interested in living more attuned to yourself and to nature, it means not only cultivating an awareness of what natural processes looks like, but also the natural rhythms and cycles, and not being afraid to reject societal ideals and capitalist ideals, to really put that first and embrace that. Okay. So cool. friends. Okay, I need a pillow. Okay, there we go. Well, I didn't take January off per se, but I didn't make any videos for the month of January, and that just felt that very strongly, intuitively. It's given me the opportunity to do a lot of good, deep work, but that complements the energies and the pace and the rhythm of this time of year. Like, I was able to do so much organizational work and so much administrative filing and organization and workflow building that I've needed to do for the longest time, but just never have had any extra time to really dive into. And actually, that's why I'm here. I'm at my mom's visiting for a little bit. Yeah, just being here has given me the opportunity to really get focused, because I don't have, all of the distractions of life and cleaning this and doing this and helping the cats and, just life in general. So yeah, this is not, it's still, we're coming up on the cross quarter point between the solstice and the equinox, which in a lot of different cultures kind of marked the point in the northern hemisphere of the strengthening of the sun and kind of like the fertilization stage of, while the world is still really cold, it's like the time where the seed really settles and begins its form, begins sourcing nutrients, even if it's not fully, expanding and sending out roots yet. There's like this whole process that the seed goes through. And that time is still very much upon us, and it still holds true. This is still such a time of incubation and gestation. So yeah, it's been a powerful time, and it just felt really important to really embrace this hibernation period instead of making videos about the hibernation period, but then still having my internal world and my work and my videos and all these things, reflect high productivity. It's just, yeah. And I also just needed the time and the space to do these kinds of things in alignment with the integrity of that pace and that natural rhythm. So, and yeah, I know that the world is a lot and very intense right now. And I just want to be that friend that encourages you to actually slow down right now and to really reconnect with yourself and how you're feeling. Like, I've kind of gone off all of social media right now. I still have them, but I've just needed to stay off of them. Both partially because of what's going on in the world, but also partially because it feels like the seeds that were planted in my life and in my being need. I don't right now, because they are still forming and becoming. It's a time of not wanting any input. Input can have too much effect on the things that are uniquely me, that just need to be what they are and not have any sort of external input and influence and energy to them. So yeah, and I think a lot of us are in that space, and just to validate and encourage anybody that's feeling like they need, overstimulated or overwhelmed or anxious, that might be your system indicating to you that you just kind of need to pull back and cocoon a bit, not in a disengaged way, not in a disassociative way, but in the way that understands that our relationship with ourselves is the foundation for how we show up in the world and how we can support the relationships and the structures and the organizations and all the things in our outer world. Got to start here first. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking.
Hello, friend. Hi.
It's so cold. Oh, you can see Mars. I didn't notice that before. You can see Mars just coming over the mountain. Oh. Casey?
Okay, it's too cold. Too cold.